What is up, and welcome to SGPN's The Daily Dog. I'm your host, Britton Hess. I'm here with my favorite Underdog Fantasy Pick'em plays for Monday, January 6, 2025. If you're new to Underdog Fantasy, sign up with promo code DAILYDOG, that's DAILYDOG, for a 50% deposit match bonus worth up to $1,000. That is as good as deposit bonuses get. So definitely, if you got the money and you'd like to play these pick'ems or props on sports betting sites and you want to try something a little different, check out UnderdogFantasy.com. Again, that's promo code DAILYDOG, DAILYDOG at UnderdogFantasy.com, or on the app for a 50% deposit match bonus worth up to $1,000. And you can deposit as much as you want or as little as you want and still get that 50%, with that max being $1,000. All right. If you're a regular watcher or listener to this podcast, then you're probably confused as to why this wasn't out at about 6:30, 6 a.m. Eastern time. I decided to switch the release time for this show. Now that we're kind of through football for the most part, and the majority of this show is going to be, NBA, NHL, college basketball, and even tennis, at least on a weekly basis. We don't have Monday Night Football. Well, we do next week, but Monday Night Football, Thursday Night Football, those types of things are going away. So I need to really prioritize those long season sports, the NBA, the NHL. And in order to do that well, I need to be recording this in the morning on the West Coast because I have so many more options on the Underdog app. When I'm recording it early, like I said, at 5 or 6 a.m. Eastern, I don't necessarily have the full complement of players available on Underdog, just waiting for injury information and everything else. So I'm starting to do it now just because I think I can give you better slips this way, or better entries this way, by having the chance to actually see who's in lineups, which goalies are starting in NHL, and things like that. So hopefully you like this change. Instead of being a morning commute 10-minute show, you can listen to this show on your lunch break or something like that. Or, listen to it at work. Who cares? Just put it in an AirPod, you do it covert. It's a short show. You can probably get away with it. And then there's another reason too, is that I'm going to try to be going live on this show. Probably on Wednesday, we'll start debuting the live component to this program. So we'll check that one out, see how things go. If live works well, maybe I'll keep on doing it live and we can get some chat interaction and everything else there. So let's get going into the actual picks today. I got 7 entries today on Underdog. We'll start out with the NBA. We're going to go with Jusuf Nurkic, higher than 17.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Nurkic was suspended due to fighting, and now, he's back against the 76ers. I don't know if Embiid is going to bang around inside with him, fighting him for rebounds. I think he can definitely milk that part of it. I think Embiid's probably going to have a really good game in here, but Nurkic off the suspension. Nurkic may be unhappy that the Suns looking for a trade. He's got a lot to prove. I think that this is a really low number for a guy like him who can, go double-double, no problem. So 17.5 seems like a very low PRA number for our guy, Jusuf Nurkic. You're going to pair that with RJ Barrett of the Toronto Raptors, higher than 1.5 3-pointers made. You know that we've played this a ton with him over the season, and it's been more good than bad. He's just shooting enough 3-pointers that this number makes sense pretty much every day that you're getting a flat multiplier on it. I don't necessarily like it when it's less than, a full 1x. And I should say he's also a game time decision for this game, but it does look like he is going to go due to illness here. He's a guy that, again, he's shooting 4 to 5 3-pointers per game. So that gives him a really good shot at hitting 2 of them when his 3-point rate for the season is about 35%. So yeah, I just like that number. I think it's a little bit low against the Bucks. I don't necessarily think they're going to contest a bunch of his threes either. So that is a 3x multiplier. Jusuf Nurkic higher than 17.5 points, rebounds, and assists, and RJ Barrett higher than 1.5 3-pointers made. Then let's go to NBA number 2. We're going to go to Bam Adebayo, higher than 31.5 points, rebounds, and assists. No Jimmy Butler, obviously, while he's suspended. That means that Bam gets a little bit higher usage rate, in my estimation. Heat are on the road at the Kings. The Kings like to play fast. They take a ton of shots. There's lots of opportunities for rebounds. Their defense isn't necessarily the greatest. So give me a Bam Adebayo. I think that he can go, again, it's 31.5 PRA for him in a game without Jimmy Butler. That's definitely doable. I mean, let's just say 18, 10, and 5s, we're good. He can do 20, 10, 5, whatever, 4. It doesn't. I just think that there's going to be plenty of opportunity for him to stat pad here, just because he has to be so much more involved without Jimmy Butler on the floor. We will continue this slip with Tobias Harris, higher than 14.5 points. Speaking of usage rates going up, 1, Tobias Harris has hit this number 3 games in a row. And 2, Jaden Ivey currently out right now. He broke his fibula. He's missing significant time there. So Tobias Harris has to be more involved. He's more of a veteran leader on this team. Higher than 14.5 points, definitely doable against the Trailblazers team. And just hope it's not a blowout. The current spread is 6.5, so I don't think it'll be, an end-to-end wire-to-wire blowout there. I really like Tobias Harris higher than 14.5 points. This is also a 3x multiplier. All right, let's get into the National Hockey League. We're going to go with Alex Ovechkin higher than 0.5 goals. The Capitals are playing against the lowly Buffalo Sabres. The Sabres had a terrible, I want to say 10-game losing streak or something close to it. They won 3 in a row. Now they've lost 3 in a row. I still think they're pretty bad. I think the Capitals are definitely, in pole position to crush them in this game. And Ovi has been good since he's been back from his injury. He's still leading the Capitals in goals despite missing time with a broken leg. But he scored in his last 2 games in a row, and he scored in 4 of his last 5 since returning from injury. So yeah. Ovi has not missed, or he's not rusty after his broken leg injury. So yeah, I'm happy to have him scoring a goal here. We're going to pair that with Nick Suzuki of the Montreal Canadiens, higher than 0.5 assists as they host the Canucks. Canucks are actually pretty injured right now. Quinn Hughes, their top point guy, is out. And the Canadiens are on a little bit of a hot streak. I mean, they've won 3 of their last 4 games, or 4 of their last 5 games. And those wins are Panthers, Lightning, Golden Knights, and Avalanche. The loss was at the Blackhawks, oddly enough. But this team is very hot right now. They were terrible stopping goals early on in the season. They have turned a corner there. Their goaltending and defense has gone way up, and they've been able to score. Nick Suzuki, 27 assists on the season, 1 here against the Canucks. I can see it happening. Pairing that with Ovechkin is a 3.59x multiplier on Underdog. Then we're going to pair that with Mikko Rantanen higher than 1.5 points for the Avs as they host the Florida Panthers. I think this is a great spot for just a successful game for the Avalanche. Mikko Rantanen has been hot right now for this team. He's leading the Avs in goals, but in his last, he's had multiple points in 3 of his last 6 games. So you're getting a big multiplier for a guy who's doing this about 50% of the time. I really like our chances there. And then we're going to pair that with Jaden Schwartz, higher than 0.5 points for the Kraken. Jaden Schwartz also quietly been heating up from a points perspective. 3.66x multiplier with those 2 guys. All right, we got a college basketball slip here. We're going to Milos Uzan of Houston, higher than 10.5 points against TCU. I think TCU is in for a world of hurt here. I don't think they're going to score much, but I think there's going to be plenty of opportunities for the dudes on Houston to get the ball through the hoop. And we're going to pair that with Dawson Garcia, the do-everything dude from Minnesota against Ohio State, higher than 17.5 points. Ohio State, I think, has a chance to win this game, but home game for Minnesota, they are going to be, I think they'll be at least competitive enough. And I think that the only way they do that, if I'm following that logic, is Dawson Garcia having a big game because, again, he is the key for this team to be successful in any facet. All right, one of the advantages to moving this showtime to West Coast mornings is the fact that I have so many more options for tennis. With that being said, we're going to go with my guy, Adrian Mannarino against Emilio Navone. Mannarino, lower than 0.5 sets lost. Both these guys haven't necessarily been in the greatest form lately, but Mannarino has picked it up after a terrible 2024 season. His game is much more adept for these hard courts out in Australia. So give me Adrian Mannarino higher than 0.5 or lower than 0.5 sets lost. That means I'm expecting Mannarino to win in straight sets in this matchup. I think that he should be a massive favorite to win in straight sets, to be honest. We're going to pair that with Linda Noskova, higher than 22.5 or higher than 22.0 games played against Maria Sakkari. They've played before. It was a 3-set match. Noskova, young player. Sakkari, just a grinder. A girl who's always in competitive matches, always dragging him out. I think that's a great shot. This thing goes 3 sets. If it goes 3 sets, more likely than not, we're getting higher than 22.0 games played. This is a 3.48x multiplier because you get a little bit of extra multiplier on Adrian Mannarino lower than 0.5 sets lost. As I said, matchup against Emilio Navone is very advantageous for him. All right, we got a little Lotto too as well to celebrate this. We're going to Kawhi Leonard, second game back, higher than 20.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Cole Makar of the Avalanche, higher than 0.5 goals. LJ Pryor of Houston, higher than 3.5 3-pointers made. And then in tennis, Nishesh Basavaredi, lower than 21.0 games played against Komasana, young American stud. He is going to dominate this match. I think that he's going to win it in straights, and I think that, as such, he's not going to see too many tiebreakers either. He's got a good serve, and he can move. He's a young player. This is a 23.64x multiplier or 14.18x / 3.54x flex if it goes 3 out of 4. All right, that's all I got for you today. Hope you like the new Showtime. Let's make some money.